You might have heard of this concept called the 80-20 rule, and if you haven't, it basically means that the majority of the results, or the 80%, can be accomplished with minimal effort, the 20%. This also means that the last little bit, the last 20%, comes at a much bigger cost. But when it comes to phones, it used to mean that you had to sacrifice something when buying budget phones, whether it was performance or camera quality. Well, not anymore, because with the advancements in smartphones in the past few years, the 80% product with the Pixel 8a is seriously all you'll ever need. And you will immediately notice this when you first see the phone, because at first glance, the Pixel 8a simply looks great. They really played into the pill-shaped design of this phone and just made the whole phone really look like a pill. The corners are so much rounder, the sides are smoother, and this bright color pops right away. I have this phone here in bay blue, and can we just take a moment to appreciate how good it looks? The best part is, it doesn't even feel as toyish as it looks. The back has a really nice matte plastic material, which both feels nice and finally doesn't become a fingerprint or scratch magnet. The camera bar also remains thin and keeps the iconic Pixel design we're all used to now, and the phone just feels well built overall. And as assumed for a compact phone, it's actually incredibly light too at 188 grams, which means you don't get any hand fatigue, especially with one-handed usage. The phone does look quite chonky from the front though, where the bezels are slightly on a thicker side, and the chin is even more so, making it asymmetrical and kind of unsightly. You'll quickly get used to it though, as it's not too noticeable when using the phone on a day-to-day basis, and I guess it was necessary to keep the cost low, but hopefully we'll have nice symmetrical bezels for the 9A next year. Thankfully though, this phone is both dust and water resistant and certified up to IP67, so it's nice to have that peace of mind when you're using the phone in the rain, snow, shower, or whatever else. But if there's one thing that really blew me away this year, it was the screen. This is basically the exact same screen as the Pixel 8. Like what? I have no idea how Google pulled this off, but the 2000 nit 120Hz screen looks absolutely beautiful. Back in the days of cheaper phones, the most noticeable drawback is the screen, since that's the thing you're interacting with every day, but not anymore. It's literally 100% of the quality and experience you get on flagship phones, as it's bright, very smooth, accurate, and definitely an upgrade you'll notice every day. And as for the rest of the hardware, it's really all you can hope for from a phone from this price range, solid and reliable. In fact, you'll rarely ever notice that you're using a phone that's half the price of most modern flagships, and that's already a feat in and of itself. Unlocking the phone is also quick and reliable, both the fingerprint and face unlock. You can now even use the face unlock in sensitive apps like banking or password managers too, which is so convenient. And with the haptics and speakers, you're still getting a solid experience too. It gets really loud if you're the type to blast music that can fill up a room, and the sound from it is not too bad. If I had to be critical about it though, it does sound ever so slightly tinny and less full, but it definitely does the job. The same goes for the haptics, which are really solid, and you'll only notice that it's a bit light if you compare it side by side with premium flagship phones. One area that does leave a bit more to be desired though is charging. This doesn't really matter too much if you're the type of person to charge your phone overnight, but as someone who's pretty forgetful and has a sleep schedule of an engineering student, the 18-watt wired charging and the 7.5 watts of wireless charging is pretty slow by today's standard, especially if you're in a rush sometimes. Unfortunately, there's also no charger in the box, but that's okay because of the sponsor of this video, Ugreen. If you're someone like me in need of some extra charging power for multiple devices, their Nexode X 160-watt charger has got you covered. Thanks to gallium nitride technology, this surprisingly compact block has 3 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port to charge all your devices at once. And with its 160-watt total output, you can be sure to maximize the charging speed. One single port can actually support up to 140 watts of charging, which is great for USB-C laptops, and with that speed, you can actually charge up to 50% in just 27 minutes on a decked out MacBook Pro. And no matter how many devices you need to juice up at once, this charger adapts to give you the highest speed possible, charging everything from your phone to your earbuds. It's also loaded with a bunch of protection features, so all this power is kept under control, and it's just the perfect all-in-one charging solution on the go. You know what else is the perfect charging solution? The Ugreen 2-in-1 magnetic folding charging station, which features a 15-watt Qi 2 wireless charger, a spot to charge your earbuds, and also a USB-C port for a watch charging dongle. It even doubles as a phone stand with these super strong magnets, and best of all, it's super compact, which makes it really convenient when traveling. Thank you so much Ugreen for sponsoring this video, and be sure to check out these amazing products with the link in the description to find out more. Now, when it comes to the actual endurance of this phone, the Pixel 8a is actually a champ, as I can easily get through a full day with 5 to 6 hours of screen on time without having to top it up through the day, which is mostly thanks to the magical optimization Google does in their software, and you can actually feel the phone lasting longer after the first few weeks as it learns your habits, which is super cool. This also gives you a nice peace of mind for the longevity of this phone, since batteries are usually the first thing to deteriorate throughout the years. I haven't experienced any overheating while using the Pixel 8a either, which is good news for 2 reasons. One, that's great for the longevity of this phone since there won't be any long-term heat damage to the components, and 2, it means that the performance of this phone is able to keep up well enough so that it doesn't need to overheat at all. And the performance is exactly that. With the same Tensor G3 chip and 8 gigs of RAM from the Pixel 8, this phone is incredibly snappy in day-to-day usage. And even when I'm gaming or using the phone for long periods of time, the phone still holds up perfectly well and will definitely be more than enough to last you years down the road. In fact, Google actually promises 7 years of software updates for the Pixel 8a, and just to put in perspective how incredible that is, 7 years is the equivalent of still being able to use the Pixel 2 XL with the latest software updates today, in which I actually still have a few friends who still use that phone. In terms of software though, Google's super clean Pixel UI has always been my favorite to use because of how simple and fast everything is. I absolutely love the Material You theme that forms around the color palette of your wallpaper, since it makes the phone just feel more fun and personalized. The animations, as I said, are also absolutely beautiful, and the attention to detail just feels so polished. Not to mention, I think the always-on display looks the best out of any phone. You also have crazy features such as voice dictation, which I actually use a lot. And with the special voice dictation feature, Google is able to make transcriptions incredibly fast and accurate and all offline. It can even fix grammar mistakes, do auto-punctuation, and even send by voice. And the features like voice transcription in the voice recording app, the new Gemini assistant that I need to play around with more, and one of the best implementations of digital well-being with bedtime mode and the very useful focus modes, this phone is honestly perfect for students. Definitely check out my Pixel 8 video dedicated to cool software features if you want to learn more about them. And that's really the best part about buying this phone or any other Google phone, the software. They keep adding improvements from year to year, and you can really see it do its magic, which translates to the cameras as well. On the Pixel 8a, you get a 64 megapixel wide sensor, 13 megapixel ultra wide, and 13 megapixel selfie camera, and all of these produce really nice photos thanks to Google's magical processing, like it does with all their other phones. What this translates to is photos looking pretty much identical to previous Pixels, which is extremely consistent with pictures looking beautiful and punchy, with everything being evenly exposed so you won't have any crushed shadows or blown out highlights. Low light photos are actually more than usable and actually impressive with the sensor too, which is a surprise for me. Pixel phones just produce one of my favorite looks stylistically, and with the easy to reach settings on the bottom, you can even adjust the brightness, shadows, and white balance by yourself to get yourself the perfect photo on the go. You also get access to the 2 new camera software features from the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, which I'm glad Google didn't gatekeep for their flagships. You get Best Take, which aims to replace the faces of those who don't have the best pose in that particular photo by checking other similar photos taken at the same time. And it only works if you take multiple backup photos, but it works quite well in a pinch. Magic Editor, on the other hand, is also mind-blowing in the way that you can erase everything you want in the picture, resize, and move any object around too. It's super fun to play around with, and best of all, they actually work with all your old photos regardless if you took them on the Pixel or not. So as you can see, I really enjoyed my time using the phone over the past few months because for just $500 and hopefully lower on sale, you're getting a really solid and reliable package that will satisfy anyone looking for an Android phone for the years to come. In fact, you're basically getting the exact same phone as the more expensive Pixel 8, and I think Google has realized that too, because depending on the region you're in, they've actually started to seriously cut the prices of those to basically only like $50 or more, or even the exact same price as the Pixel 8a. And for the differences between those two, I actually have made a comparison video, which you should definitely check out up here, but it'll really come down to where you're located and the deals you can find. But whatever you choose, you really can't go wrong, especially considering the value you're getting with this or the Pixel 8. But anyways, that's it for this video, and let me know down below if you guys have any questions. And if you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to leave a sunglasses emoji so I know that you're a real one. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe button too, and also check out some of the other awesome content on my channel. And on that note, have a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.